Good afternoon, everyone. To some people, maybe it's good morning. It's 3:30 p.m. Beijing time. Anyway, thank you everyone so much for taking the time to listen to my SIM meeting. The topic of my SIM meeting is mycotoxin challenge for poultry feed and health. I choose this topic to share with you guys. This is because I think mycotoxin recently is a really hot topic. This is because the quality of raw material is really unstable. So yes, this is the topic. First of all, it's just a short self-introduce. My name is Citrinin, and you can also call me Tracy, whatever you want. And I did my master's degree in Swedish University of Agricultural Sciences. My major is animal science. I formerly worked for Wellhope Group as a poultry technical formulator. Yes, just a little bit of background about myself. The content of my topic is divided into 4 parts. The first part is corn and its nutritional value. The second part is types and sources of mycotoxins. The third part is effects of mycotoxins in poultry. And the last part of my topic is fight against mycotoxins in poultry. Firstly, the corn and its nutritional value. When it comes to mycotoxins, I think it's better to talk about the corn first. This is because, as you all know, corn is the most important. It's one of the most important raw materials in animal feed, and it also has the reputation of the king of energy. The main use of corn in the world is for feed. Containing for 70% to 75%. For example, the amount of corn used in poultry feed formulations is generally above 50%. And the protein provided by corn accounts for 1/4 of the total protein in mixed feed. Then I'm gonna talk about the nutritional properties and the feeding value of corn. The first nutritional property of corn is high energy availability. Corn has the highest energy availability in grains, and the metabolizable energy of poultry is 3,250 kilocalorie per kilogram. This is because corn contains approximately 72% starch on a dry matter basis, and corn starch is nearly 100% digestible, and corn contains only 2% crude fiber and 4% fat. Fat is 2 times that of grains. The second nutritional property of corn is low protein content. The protein content in corn is about 7% to 9%, is a little bit low, right? And the protein quality of corn is a little bit poor. This is because corn protein lacks of lysine and tryptophan. For example, the content of lysine in corn is only 0.24%, and the content of tryptophan is 0.07%. This is because most of the corn protein is thin, and its quality is lower than that of gluten. The third nutritional property of corn is high in linoleic acid. Linoleic acid is the most important essential fatty acid. Linoleic acid in corn reaches 2%, which is the highest content in all grain feeds. So corn alone can meet poultry 2% linoleic acid requirement. When poultry is deficient in linoleic acid, poultry will grow slowly, and their feathers are shelled and dull. For laying hens, the egg production will reduce. The fourth nutritional properties of corn is that corn contains important minerals and vitamins for animal nutrition. For example, corn is rich in vitamin E with an average of 20 milligrams per kilogram, while vitamin D and K are deficient. And corn contains very little and corn also contains very little calcium, only about 0.02%. Phosphorus is about 0.25%. Iron, copper, manganese, zinc, and other trace elements are also less. The fifth nutritional property of corn that I want to talk about is pigment. Corn contains many pigments, mainly beta-carotene, lutein, and zeaxanthin. And the content of lutein is about 20 milligrams per kilogram, and here I want to mention that lutein is very important for the calorie of egg yolk and broiler chicken feet, skin, and beak, especially on the calorie of egg yolk. The second part is the sources and the types of mycotoxins. Mycotoxins are secondary metabolites produced by fungi in the plants before and after harvest. A large percentage of the agricultural production worldwide is contaminated by at least one mycotoxin. Mycotoxins are invisible, intangible, odorless, and tasteless. I mean, in the moldy grain, of course, it does have mycotoxins, but in some good grains, I mean, just look like good, it may also have mycotoxins. So the main source of mycotoxins is moldy corn. When corn in the field, there are lots of passengers of plants. Also can be infected by known diseases, primary bacteria that are found in the natural environment. The main representatives of mycotoxins are Zearalenone, DON, Toxin T-2, and FB1. Also, corn is also infected by mycotoxin during storage. For example, it's infected by warehouses or utensils that have stored moldy grains. Poor storage conditions can also cause a large number of moths to grow. The main representatives of mycotoxins are AF and OTA. The main mycotoxins in feed, I mean the main types of mycotoxins in feed. There are more than 300 known mycotoxins, but among the most common and the most closely related to animal husbandry are the 6 toxins produced by these three moths. For example, ATF and OTA produced by Aspergillus, and OTA produced by penicillium, and FUMZEA, Toxin T-2, DON, produced by Fumonisins. The damage caused by mycotoxins is much greater when they are combined than when they occur individually. I think this is we need to notice this, because most of the time mycotoxins are combined together. The third part of my topic is effects of mycotoxins in poultry. What types of mycotoxins mainly affect poultry? I write some examples here. First of all, aflatoxins, for example, AFB1, AFB2, AFJ1, AFJ2, Ochratoxin A includes OTA, Toxin T-2, and FUM toxins like FB1, FB2. Here, I want to talk about the maximum suggested levels of the major mycotoxins in poultry. From the chart, we can see that for AFLA, the maximum suggested level is 5 ppb, but for layers, it's a little bit higher. It's 10 ppb. The maximum suggested levels of OTA is 5 ppb. The maximum suggested level of toxin T2 is 50 ppb, but from here we can see that for fishes, it's a little bit higher. It's 100 ppb. For DAS, the maximum suggested level is 100 ppb, but for fishes, it's about 200 ppb. Is a little bit higher also. For FUM, the maximum suggested level is 1000 ppb. For DON, the maximum suggested level in poultry is 500 ppb. But for layers, we can say that it's a little bit higher. It's about 1000 ppb. At what stage of poultry production mycotoxins generate most problems? Here, I just want to briefly mention it because I will talk it later. Mycotoxins affect all poultry species, mainly causing severe immunosuppression. Its action mechanism is based on enzymatic inhibition that reduces protein synthesis and consequently the immune response. Clinical symptoms of mycotoxins intoxication. This means after injecting by mycotoxins, what's the clinical symptoms for poultry? First of all, if poultry injected by AFLA like AFBE, AFB2, AFJ1, AHJ2, the clinical symptoms of poultry are hepatic injury. This means liver damage, body weight reduction, loss of appetite. This means the intake of poultry will decrease. For chicks, the clinical symptom is leg weakness and relaxed wings. And also blood clotting disorders in metabolites of B vitamins and amino acids. For OTA, I mean, if the poultry affected by OTA, the clinical symptoms of poultry are kidney damage, increased water intake, but reduced feed intake. For laying hens, the clinical symptoms are poor quality of eggshell, decreased egg production, and immunosuppression. Toxin T2 I think this is mainly about, lean hands. If lean hands are affected by toxin T2, the clinical symptoms are oral and cutaneous lesions, reduced egg weight, increase the number of poor quality eggshells, decrease in yields. For FUM, if poultry are affected by FUM, the clinical symptoms of poultry are reduced body weight, lower daily average weight gain, increased gizzard weight, and increased mortality in poultry. Through the above introduction, the damage of we can see that the damage of mycotoxins to poultry is very serious. So poultry farmers in China are very concerned about the presence of mycotoxins in feed and the raw materials. I don't know if in your country poultry farmers also also concerned about the mycotoxin. In the first half of 2022, the Chance R and D Center tested 528 samples for mycotoxin statistics. The Chance group has our own R and D Center, and these samples, all the samples sent by the feed mills and poultry farmers. The samples include from the chart right, from the chart in the right corner, we can see that the samples include 140 feed samples, 106 corn byproducts samples, 102 plant-based raw material samples, 94 corn samples, and 86 soybean meal and bran samples. This is a chart to show the distribution of mycotoxins in feed and raw materials. From the chart, we can see that there are not only one mycotoxin in feed and raw materials. The samples with 3 or more mycotoxins accounted for 82%. I mean, from the chart, you can see that 57% plus 25% is 82%. But the samples with one mycotoxin accounted for only 3%. This is a chart to show the contamination levels of mycotoxins in feed. From this chart, we can see that except for the low positive detection rate of toxin T2, the detection rate of the other 3 toxins was above 84%, and these 3 mycotoxins all exceeded the standard. This is a chart to show the contamination levels of mycotoxins in corn. From this chart, we can see that the positive detection rate of toxin T2 in corn samples was as low as 6%. The detection rate of AFB was 43%, and the detection rates of the other 2 toxins were both above 96%, and these 2 mycotoxins all exceeded the standard. Well, this is just a summary of the Chance mycotoxins detection. First of all, like I mentioned before, mixed contamination of mycotoxins in samples was very common, with more than 97% of samples containing 2, 3, or even 4 mycotoxins. In the first half of 2022, the positive rate of DON in feed samples increased compared with last year. The average value of AFB1 was higher than that of the first half of last year, and the excess rate of AFB1, DON, and TON was higher than that of the first half of last year. And the DON positive rate and over standard rate in colon samples both increased compared with last year. The fourth part of my topic is also the last part, is fight against mycotoxins in poultry. Face the serious mycotoxin problem, what we should do? Well, first of all, we should reduce mycotoxins at the source. I mean, prevention against mycotoxins should start with the elimination or reduction of fungal growth in plants. Of course, don't forget the storage of grains. In addition to controlling temperature and humidity using aeration, it's advisable to use fungi inhibitors and to use protection against damage caused by insects and rodents. The third way is to enhance mycotoxin testing in feed and raw materials. As I mentioned before, the Chance Group provides testing service. We can help you to test or detect mycotoxins in poultry feed and raw materials, and we can tell you, and we can help you to know the quality of your feed, poultry feed, and raw materials. So yes, don't hesitate to contact with us. We are very happy to help you. The third way is adsorption. This means we need to add some adsorbents, but adsorbents must be able to bind mycotoxins present in the contaminated feed without dissociating from them during their journey through the gastrointestinal tract of the animal, so that the mycotoxin absorbing agent complex can be eliminated through stool, or feces, and thus minimizing animal exposure to mycotoxins. However, this is just it should be noticed that the absorption of the adsorbent is selective, and the absorption capacity is limited, and it also absorbs some nutrients like vitamins. So the choice of composite adsorbent is effective. And the fourth third is to add some bioacids. Why we need to add some bioacids? The action mechanism of bioacids is that bioacids can promote the solubility of mycotoxins in the water environment of the intestinal tract, and accelerate the degradation of mycotoxins by intestinal enzymes. Here I have to mention that bioacids don't directly acting on mycotoxins. Bioacids can help to enhance the water solubility of toxins and enhance the ability of enzymes to hydrolyze toxins in animals. Okay, that's all. That's all about my topic. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact with us. This is our email and website. Thank you again for taking the time to listen to my topic. Bye-bye.